What's up, y'all? It's Miles the Millennial,
And it's your boy Rex Howard Jr.
and we are here for Let's Talk Like Men, Season 2, Episode 4.
Yes, sir.
Super excited to be here today, man. We have a special guest that we are going to allow to introduce himself in just a second. But before we get there, we just want to make sure you guys are aware that we have somebody on today that has over 160,000 followers across Instagram, TikTok, and probably more than that on some other platforms. He's a Western influencer. He has the ability to really impact us with his life stories today. So we're going to sit here, listen to what he has to say. And without further ado, let's talk like men.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's hop right into it. First, we have my brother here, good friend Deion King, man.
Yes,
I
sir.
want you to tell the people about yourself, tell people about your platform, and what you're here to do today.
Hey man, so I'm a Western influencer. Really kind of hate that word influencer, but man, I tend to inspire young black men to get into Western fashion,
Mm.
Western culture. Um, my platform is really just to inspire, but to uplift our people, but also just kind of put out Western fashion in just many ways. I feel like fashion is a way to express yourself, and
Yeah.
it's definitely something that I've done throughout my time in service and also my time as a young adult. So it's been a joyous moment for me, man. It's been great.
That's awesome, man. Well, we are blessed to have you here today.
Thank you,
Sir.
thank you.
So before we get into our hot topic, I want to ask you what brought you here. You commented on a video. Tell us about that video that you saw and how that even got you here. Why it riled you up to say, I gotta come on this show.
Man, this I seen you guys talking, man, up here about it was just like relationship stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I need to be up here
Yeah.
because being an influencer, we have such a different relationship like lifestyle. Our
Absolutely.
relationships aren't really successful, and I believe like people get the wrong image of us, and we're like constantly told like, hey, you look really good, and we think you got plenty of women, but there's a lot of stuff underneath the surface that we as men struggle with, and I think we need to kind of shed some light on it.
And we're gonna do that today.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Well, Rex, we want to hop into this hot topic, right?
Now let's get it.
Cool. So, all right. Topic of today, hot topic. Man, I know we all have had some exes. We've all had some situationships. We've had a lot of different circumstances in our life that we might have faced with women.
Yeah,
And when it doesn't work out, right, and they become a part of your past, and you're going into your future, the question is, should you still be in communication? Should you still be friends with them and be in contact with them? So the question I have for you gentlemen today, and Rex, I'm gonna let you kick it off, and then
Okay.
we're gonna come to you, Dion, and then I'll finish it off. Is should you remain friends with an ex or a previous sexual partner?
Okay. So I got two answers.
Okay.
Right. First answer is if you had a kid with that person, then of course you have to be in contact, right?
Yep.
But that's kind of the only concept. But if you had a relationship with them, had a sexual relationship with them, were in love with them, and you're trying to find something new, it's best that you find closure before you hop into a new relationship. Because if, once again, like I said, a previous podcast, it's hard to give somebody a piece of your heart when somebody else belongs, when somebody else has it.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, it's probably in your best interest, if you want something new, to leave everything in the past so it doesn't affect what's new.
I like that, man.
I really love that.
Dion, what
Yeah.
you think, man?
And that kind of reminds me of something that my pastor has said. Like, you can't bring in a new car if you still got that old car in the driveway.
Ooh.
So you need to pull that car out of the
Yeah.
driveway. But I really kind of stand same position as him. I believe if you do have kids with a certain individual, you guys do need to remain in contact. That's the only reason why you should still have communication with someone that you were sexually with or someone you had a relationship with. Um, Outside of that, I don't believe that men or women that have such a history
Yeah.
should be being involved with each other like that. No.
Yeah. I agree with you guys, man. I didn't used to agree with you, right? I used to have a lot of people from my past that I was still super cool with,
100%.
close with, hang out with, talk on a regular basis,
Yeah.
man. And my girl, she was right. She told me, she was like, you don't have boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, the position that you're in right now is only going to set you up for failure. And she was definitely right, because what you don't realize is when you have such a connection with people for so long,
Yeah.
and you've either dated this person, had sex with this person multiple times, all these different things. All these create ties.
Oh,
They create
100%.
emotional ties.
Yes.
They create mental ties, spiritual ties that don't just walk away when you choose to walk away.
Exactly.
And when you go into another relationship and you're still holding on to these things from the past, all you're creating for yourself is confusion
Yeah.
for your own mind, for your body, for your soul, and for your partner.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
even move forward?
You can. And one thing I will add to that is, especially if you're a man that doesn't have self-control,
Mm,
right? You leave that door open. Something's
mhm.
gonna crack in there.
Yes,
Something
sir.
gonna peak, right? Either you may have access with a person that you've had crazy experiences with, and you just know that sexual energy and sexual tension around them is getting so intense, especially if you got that lick in your hand,
Yeah.
right? You,
Yep.
you may not know what to do or how to control yourself. And even if you do know how to control yourself, they might not know how to control
Mm.
themselves because the person they knew you to be was a person that was going to be on go anytime they was ready to be on go.
Yeah.
So if you have these type of people in your past and you want the best for yourself, it's best to find your closure and move on.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
You got something to add to
Hey,
that?
I mean, like, listen, that's spot on, honestly. You know, especially being an influencer, man. I mean, like, we have women flocking to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So self-control is
Yes.
definitely something we
Mm.
practice. Well, at least some of us. I practice
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
And having discipline, mainly the discipline. You know that it's there, but do I really need to go there?
Yeah.
Do I need that attention? Do I want that? It's like no. As a man personally, I'd rather have a monogamous relationship with one
Right.
person that I'm madly in love with
It's amazing.
instead of me sharing all these different soul ties with everyone else. I'm giving a piece of my soul to you,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what I don't want to do that with multiple people.
Yeah.
that's
So
good.
no, nah.
Why do y'all feel that, especially for men, we're so okay with just thinking we can just have sex with so many different people and it doesn't affect us?
Because of attachments, right? If we're not emotionally connected to that person, it's easy to bounce left and right.
Mm.
It's easy to act like we want you for a specific reason just to get what we really wanted. And once we get what we really wanted, we're able to move to the next
Yeah.
without connecting with you, without giving too much of ourselves to you. And I think that's so easy, especially coming from, we're all in fraternities,
Yeah.
right? The minute you hop into a fraternity, if you know how to stroll or if you know how to be a performer on stage, you have all eyes on you.
Yeah.
And don't let a social media platform repost your show video.
That was over with.
Oh yeah. So people sliding in the DMs left and right.
left,
It's over
left
with.
and right. So
Crazy.
you got to have that self-control. And then on top of that, like I said, with the emotional aspect, we aren't as emotional with women that we attach ourselves to if it's not romantic, simply because we know we're there for a specific reason.
And I think that's something that I always like kind of want to practice and hit on is just self-discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline not to do something, and that leads back to what I believe in spiritually.
Okay.
I'm leading by my spiritual faith, and I'm not gonna feed into the flesh like
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't want that.
That's real.
Lust is something that it can be. It's a deep end, man. You dive off of that deep end, and you just find yourself drowning.
Yeah.
And men tend to kind of find themselves escaping reality through lust.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we that's our way of escaping. And I believe like that's why we don't create such like emotional attachments with
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
But when we do create emotional attachment with
It's
women,
deep.
Yeah.
it's deep, it's crazy.
Deep.
And 9 times out of 10, we probably do that. We do that with someone that isn't completely healed from trauma or past trauma.
Talk about it.
Huh.
Right? We end up getting our hearts broken.
Yeah.
Right.
And now we're like, we never want to do that again.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want to open up. I don't want to be around that. I don't want to feel my heart like that again.
100%.
And we feel it. We go through it. So that's why it's so much easier for us as men to be like, nah, I don't want to get feelings, but we can definitely have sex all day long.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But feelings, nah, I don't want that.
Nah, you speaking of fact, man.
That's good.
So
Anybody else got anything to add to this hot topic?
No, man. Let's get right into it.
All right. So let's jump into our main topic of the day. The main topic of the day is you, my brother.
oh my.
So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna ask you some questions
Yes,
about
sir.
your life, about your story, about things that you've experienced on this journey growing as an influencer. I know you don't like that word, so let's just say as somebody who has influence,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We want to hear your story, man. We want to talk to you about how this has impacted you in your dating life. We want to understand how it's impacted you as a man, things you've gone through, the life struggles you've experienced, and how our listeners can learn from somebody who is really out there in the world now, has so many people want access to you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how you're dealing with this, how you're processing it, how you're flourishing through it. So tell us something, man. What got you started into making the content that you were making, and how did you really, take off?
It's a really interesting question. I started off because of a heartbreak.
Mm.
Yeah, it started that way. It started that way. Started off with gym content, and eventually, having my brothers to lean on, even my frat brothers, I leaned on them so much, and my brother in general, he's just like, hey, you got to get happy. You're
Mm.
doing too much. This isn't healthy. He's like, so from now on, no more sad gym content. We need you to post something happy.
Right.
And I ended up putting on my cowboy hat one day, looked at my mom. I was like, hey, mom, can you feel me?
Mm.
I had to go home. I was
Yeah.
visiting home. I was like, hey, mom, can you film me? She was like, yeah, I got you. Anything, baby. Film me. And that was it, man. The skies was the limit from there. But I noticed, like, coming out of a traumatic relationship and becoming an influencer, like it happened after the relationship was over.
Mm.
Um, it was kind of weird. I want to say it was really weird just having that such a platform blow up on you,
Yeah.
because I had a very vindictive ex that
Mm.
was out to get me.
Mm.
Mm.
So it was it definitely still kind of affects me to this day, and also whenever we kind of go back and forth about whenever I go back and forth about like being in a relationship, a lot of women don't want to take the back seat because
Yeah.
I'm in control. It's my life, and they feel like they're living in my shadow.
Yeah.
Mm.
I got messages like, and it's bad stuff, but
Yeah.
so being an influencer is definitely something I would definitely tell people, if this is a lifestyle that they want, or this is a lifestyle that they're going to choose. Um, Protect your relationship first, because the women that we choose to be around, really impact us, and it shows on the camera.
Mm.
It really
Absolutely.
does. So yeah.
So that's good. So you said protect your relationship. Kind of tell us how you can protect your relationship.
So I actually just got done talking to another influencer, and his name is Chris. I actually just got done talking to him about it. His wife was having some concerns about women being in his DMs.
Absolutely.
It is there.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah.
Like, when your video's blowing up, women are gonna throw themselves at you.
Absolutely.
It's up to you to have that discipline not to go in there.
Yeah.
It's up to you to have that loyalty and that strength
Yeah.
not to also feed into that mess.
Yeah.
So what I tell them all the time is, hey, give your woman reassurance. She needs the reassurance. Be sure you reassure her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very important. Also validate her feelings, because she's also going to need that,
That's good.
you know, because you're so much, you have this spotlight that's just shining on you 24/7. Women are flocking towards you. They want you. And this is where my past relationship had kind of felt. Although I did give reassurance and I did validate her, she felt like she wasn't included.
Mm.
Mm.
That's good.
So include your woman in on everything that you guys are
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And that was really something that I preached to him. Like, make sure you include your woman,
That's good.
because she when she feels like she got the back seat
Dang.
and she's in your spotlight,
Yeah.
she ain't gonna be there.
Yeah.
Man, you just said something that I was just with my girl all this past week, up in Nashville for Valentine's Day, man. She was asking me about life, how business was going, everything. And she had made a comment that I felt like just wasn't accurate. But when you said it, I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe this is why. She was like, dang, I didn't know you were gonna have this meeting with this person. She's like, dang, I didn't know you were
Yeah.
doing this particular thing with the
Yep.
show, or you guys were gonna be filming with this guy
Yeah.
this week. I know you mentioned it 2, 3 weeks ago, but you didn't tell me anything new. You
Yeah.
don't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Or-
No facts.
and of course, she was saying it in a joking way, but she meant it,
Yeah.
right? And I'm sitting there like, well, babe, I just didn't think it was that serious. Like,
Yeah.
I keep you up to date on things, and we talk every single day, but I didn't think this was so big to you.
Right.
And now I understand why. It's because she wants to feel like she's a part of your journey. She wants to
Absolutely.
feel like she's not, like you said, just a backseat person. She wants to feel like she's that passenger
Yep.
right next to you, helping you along the journey. She's a partner with you.
Yeah.
And it's so tough when we're so caught up as men on our drive and on our purpose
Yeah.
and in our own focus and in our own lane for us to really take a step back and say, man, am I including my girl? Am
Yep.
I including my woman? Is she really a part of this journey, or is she just watching this journey?
Exactly.
And we're better when we include them.
Exactly.
So much better. And it's so interesting because this point is brought up. Like the very first, the second episode we recorded, I brought my lady with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
First episode.
First, oh well, yeah,
That was the first one.
first episode, because I said I want you to see what it looks like behind the scenes. I
Mm.
want you to feel what it feels like to be in his presence, and also like to see how I work, right? And then, we share the same page, so I notice your lady, she likes everything we do.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she wants to know what's going to come out before it comes
Uh-huh.
out.
Send me the clips.
Yeah, she doesn't want any surprises. So, it's good that she brought that up, and it's good that you acknowledge that tingly feeling that you felt like, man, I don't got to tell you everything, but you
Mhm.
realize she just wants to be included.
Exactly.
And I really I preach this as much as possible to other influencers. Is like, whenever you do include your woman, or whenever you do include someone, just make sure they're supportive.
Mm.
Yeah.
The support is the biggest thing. This is the
Talk
success.
about it, bro.
Having a supportive woman behind you while you're trying to go through this,
Yep.
it means the world.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, there's so many different things in the Western industry. We're so cut off, and you constantly feel like when a man is out, he constantly has his shield up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He has his persona on, But when I come home, I want to drop that.
Yeah.
I want to feel safe. I
Yeah.
want to feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
I want to be able to be vulnerable with
Yeah.
someone. And if you don't have a supportive woman,
It's not gonna work.
it's not gonna work.
It's gonna be a headache.
You spoke on, we had a conversation before, and you spoke on the fact that the relationship that you dealt with in the past
Yeah.
brought you to a place from a mental health perspective that
Yes, sir.
really troubled you. And I want to make sure I preface this for the viewers. We're about to go into a conversation that's going to deal with some mental health struggles, and suicide is going to be a topic. And so if you aren't comfortable, I want you guys to, of course, black out this portion, come back in afterwards. But we're going to talk about this. And Deion, I want you to tell us, like, how did you get to that point? And why was that the decision you decided to make? And how have you changed since then? What has happened in your life?
So I was at a point where the relationship I was in, it was like a tug of war.
Hmm.
My emotions was constantly being tugged at. I'm here, I'm not. I'm here, I'm not. And it was really just emotionally draining. Um, we was going through a nasty breakup, and it was really just time to let go on both
Yeah.
our ends. But being trauma bond,
Yeah.
you
Trauma
know,
bonds.
trauma bond is absolutely insane. It kept me there, and it kept me there way too long. And I didn't feel supported. I didn't feel validated. And it's something that men in general, we don't necessarily like to say that we need those things.
Absolutely.
We don't want to say it. Um, but not having that support and having a decent support system with her kind of led me down this path where it was like, you know what? I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
I literally would go home, I would drive the
Yeah.
car, I'll park in the garage, and I'll sit there for hours.
Hmm.
That was my safe place. Like
Yeah.
that, I felt the safest in that garage.
Yeah.
In my car with the doors locked.
Right.
Get out the car, and I knew, like, I'm about to step into a war zone.
Yeah.
Why is my relationship a battle zone? I
Yeah.
don't want it to be that. This need to be my safe haven. So, I found myself in that position, and kind of led me down a path where we kind of broke up, and I was just there at suicide. I was already there. I was just there at suicide, and I remember playing Russian roulette. Man, it was bad.
Mm.
Wow.
It was bad, and this was like right before we broke up. And when I found myself there, I was like, I need to let you go.
Yeah.
I need to let this go. And eventually, God had so many different plans for me. And I mean, God works in mysterious ways.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And there was this thing that I had read. It was like, she was like, I'm a rocket and she's the boosters, right? They fall off.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're not equipped for the atmosphere that I'm
That where
going
you're
through.
going. Ooh.
They're not equipped for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And where I was heading at in my life, I felt like I wasn't supported because
Yeah.
she didn't have the ability to support my dreams. They were
Yeah.
too big.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, it felt like it was the end of the world for me. I was crushed. I was down. It was real bad, right? So I'm saying it was bad, right? So I got there, and randomly one day I was just like, let me focus on me.
Right.
I don't know if you guys know this song, but it's like I'm so new to put me first.
Mm.
But me first kind of hurts.
I don't know that one, but that's deep.
You know what I'm
That's
Sing
a
saying?
that
bar.
song. I need that one.
I'm sure, but
Mhm.
putting me first kind of hurts,
Yeah.
and I felt so selfish, like just putting myself first. I was so used to being so selfless, and
Yeah.
but I had to work on me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which got me to where I'm at.
Yeah.
And
It's amazing.
I can see it, and I sat down just yesterday, and I was just doing something. I was so busy. I was in marketing meetings and stuff like that, and I said, "Hold up, stop." Took my hat off, and I said, first thing I said, "God, I remember.
Mm.
I remember. I remember everything that I asked for. I remember asking to be here."
Yeah.
And I said, "And you made it possible."
Yeah.
I literally stopped and I thank and I praise God that I was there.
It's amazing.
And I'm very, very blessed to have the platform that I have, and to educate people on Western history and Western culture and cowboy culture. But that wasn't an atmosphere that that young lady could help me receive.
Mm.
So it's
It's
tough,
good.
man. But sometimes you gotta endure some real bad stuff
Just long enough.
just long enough
Yeah.
just to get to where you need to be.
Yeah, so you said a lot of different things
I
just
know, man.
then.
I'm going out, man.
But on the relational aspect, I want to tap on this. We talked about this before, Miles. When you're in a relationship or thinking about going to a relationship, you have to date from the perspective of where you see yourself going,
Ooh. Ooh.
right? You see yourself going, and that's how you evaluate the person that you're currently dating.
That's
Because
deep.
if they can't see you there, then they can't support you there. They
Exactly.
don't have the value to add to you when you get there, right? So it's either you're going to have a woman that's going to be on the same mission. So she may be an influencer just like you. So she understands the grind. She understands the followers. She understands the likes. She understands how much time and energy goes into it. Or you're going to have you a woman that supports what you're doing. Babe, I don't want to be on the front side, but I want to be on the back side supporting you. I want to be pushing you. I want to be speaking life in you. I want to give you an ability to come home and tell me about the monsters in the world, and we can fight them together. So
That's Rex, that's good, man. You make me think of my girl, man, because that is exactly that is probably top three things that I'll always remember
yeah,
that just makes me so appreciative of her
yeah,
is the fact that she'll see something on TikTok
hmm
that she thinks can be a topic that I can talk about.
yeah,
She'll see somebody, the way they're promoting their book, the way a speaker is going out into the schools and making videos or how they're promoting themselves. And she will send me it.
yeah,
Babe, you should try this.
yeah.
I think this will be a great idea. Oh, you and Rex should try this style for how you should revamp how you're putting your
Yeah,
content out, or this, that, and that. And it's the things like that, even if you don't want to hear it in that moment, I never for a second have to doubt that she is 100% down with the mission that I'm trying to accomplish for
100%.
myself.
Yeah,
And she sees herself being a part of that. And see, that's the difference between a woman who comes around when you have it all
it's a different
Or
ball
and the
game.
woman who stayed down with you when you were trying to build it.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
And you see, we've said this before, but that's the woman you give the world to.
yeah,
That's the woman you don't have to second guess. That's the woman that gives 50%.
yeah.
That's the woman that you don't have to be concerned about, because it's like, shoot, the work you put in here,
yeah,
you deserve every piece of this as much as I do, because I wouldn't have gotten here
yeah,
if it wasn't for your input, if it wasn't for your love, if it wasn't for your nurturing characteristics that
yeah,
you brought to the table that allowed me to take all this masculine energy,
yeah,
get that feminine touch.
yeah,
Tell me how to brand this differently. Tell me how to make this look better. Tell
yeah,
me how to talk a different way that's going to hit differently for the people listening
yeah.
and take me to the next level. Oh yeah, girl, you're a part of this journey forever.
No,
That's
man,
one
most
of them.
definitely.
My babies.
Yes, I'm
Come on.
Hey,
so
look, that is so interesting because I mean, like you mentioned something as well, like, and I just thought about it. Like you said something like, hey, babe, even if the support is, hey, I want to be behind the scenes,
Mm.
right? Glorious, I love that,
yeah,
right? But I'm gonna say, for us as influencers, soon as that woman say, "Hey, I'm going to take the seat and I want to be behind the scenes.
Mhm.
I can do the recording for you. I can do this or do that for you.
Mhm.
I want to be behind the scenes." Okay, but do you know what comes along with this?
Right.
Mm.
Right.
Because it is so hard as an influencer to mentally prepare a woman or to
Yeah.
I can try my best to say, hey, listen, like women are gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna come. They're gonna knock on this door. They're gonna be here. Everything that you just helped me film, they're gonna be women, thousands of them,
Yeah.
ruling
It's
over.
about to bring more
Man.
women
It's
here.
about to bring more women.
Right.
So, and I'm not even gonna name drop him, but I have a buddy. He's married, and his wife, she's like, yeah, I'm just not the type of girly to be, involved. I want to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, she's constantly doing this, and it kind of bothers me when I see it. She's like, well, you got all these girls. I bet you got plenty of girlfriends,
Mm.
or you got all these women, and it's like these underhanded statements. It's just like, why are you doing that to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when he was open with you, like
Yeah.
for me, in my case, for my ex, I said, hey, like I would love to include you.
Yep.
I want you to be a part of this. She said no.
Mm.
I'll take the back seat. I said okay. But when you take the back seat, now your face isn't out there with mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you suffer because now women think, hey, he's single.
Yep.
Mm.
And now they're flocking towards me.
Absolutely.
The
That's
funny thing, let me throw this in real quick. The funny thing is, women will come even more, bro, when you post her.
I
absolutely.
feel like
It gets even worse.
yeah.
Because when you're single, they want you for whatever characteristics that
Yeah.
you have. There is my pops told me this a long time ago. He said, people want what they can't have.
Yeah.
hmm
The second it'll be girls that you've talked to, you try to shoot your shot at, they shut you down. The second you got a girlfriend, now all of a sudden, you're so funny.
Yeah.
You're so handsome. You got so much promise.
Yeah.
This is something that women do, men do it too, but women do it even more because they see the type of man that you can be.
Yeah.
They're looking at you and they're saying, the way he shows off his girlfriend,
I
the
want
way that he carries himself,
Yeah.
the way that he prioritizes her.
Yeah.
I want that for myself. And instead of them being in a healed state where they say, hey, good for him, let me go make myself the type of woman that
Yeah.
can have that type of man and be prepared for it, they say, I'm gonna go take him from her.
Yep.
She don't need it. I need it more.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's deserving of him. And the funny thing is, if you fall for the trap and you go for him, they're gonna treat you. As soon as they get you, they're not even gonna care anymore.
Hmm. So let me take it here, right? Because it's all about accountability, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So if you are that man that's an influencer, your page is growing, your ladies want to take the back seat, she's not really on your page too much, and you have all these women that are coming at you.
yeah.
I got a verse for you.
Come on, hit us with it.
And it's 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. It says, no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will always provide you a way out so you can endure it.
Wow.
So in other words, if you've been a man and you've never got this type of attention before, if you've never been on the front on the front side before, if you've never had thousands of followers at one point in time and people in your DMs before, man, that can get to your head.
Yeah.
It can.
Right? And one of them DMs gonna slip through.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you're gonna click on the profile picture and oh, she's a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what she's looking like. Then you may start liking, and then that's just gonna feed into it. Now you find yourself going down a slippery slope because you don't have that you don't have that self-discipline and self-control.
Yeah.
So if you are that man and you want to be held accountable, of course you got your buddies that can hold you accountable, your partner can hold you accountable. But man, turn to the Bible
Go
that
to
holds you
God.
accountable because God is saying there's nothing out here that's not tempted anybody else before. This ain't nothing new.
I'm very fortunate, I have my older brother. He's very, very wise.
That's good.
Very wise. He's my best friend. I lean on him for everything. So when I had started off, he had gave me this rule book. You know
Talk
what this
about it.
rule book is called?
What?
The rules to be an influencer, right?
Mm,
Rule number 1 to be an influencer: don't go to your DMs.
mm,
You're not checking them. We're not messaging women back. We're not doing none of that,
it's good.
right? Because you feed into that temptation, it leads you down a dark path.
Yeah.
So people, if you look at my comment section, people are like, he never answer his DM. He never respond to the comments. I don't need to.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here for a reason. I'm not I'm not my TikTok isn't Tinder. My Instagram is not
Yeah.
I like that.
Hinge or anything like that. It's literally a platform for me to
That's good.
promote and show you what restaurant fashion has done for me.
Yeah.
And I want to include everyone around me in it. So my brother gave me these rules. He's like, one, we're not taking women home.
That's powerful.
That's
You
good.
you can stay off of that.
Yeah.
Like we're not doing that. So stay out of the DMs. The other one was conduct yourself as professionally as possible.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
tarnish your name. And as an influencer, my image alone is pretty much what I promote.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. So they're like, man, you always look nice everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason why when I go home, I just want to be in sweatpants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
so I mean, like, you don't tarnish your name at all. And my brother was really, really like pretty stern on me about it. He was like, you don't do that.
Yeah.
The third rule was enjoy. Enjoy what
Mm,
you're doing. Have fun with what you're doing. Um, and make sure that your content is as genuine as possible.
that's good.
Mm. Keep your heart in it.
And he was definitely my rock, man. And he still is to this day. You know, my brother, he's just, if they don't want to let you in, you keep making enough noise until they open that door for you.
Absolutely.
And
That's
that's how it
amazing.
is for Western because it's so closed off.
Yeah. I want to talk about that.
That's amazing.
Let's jump into a conversation on that. What have been some of the challenges that you faced? You're breaking barriers, right? There are not many black men. There are not many bigger men
Yeah, yeah.
that are out doing Western content, right?
Mhm.
And influencing the fashion, influencing the culture, and bringing people to this, right? That's how I found you. You popped up on my feed, and I said, finally,
Finally, we got a big
somebody I
boy.
can look at and okay, cool. I can this fit my skin tone. All
Yeah.
right, cool,
Hey, yeah.
man. What has that been like? Because I can only imagine. I know that in so many different aspects of our life, whenever you're the pioneer breaking barriers, you're the one different face in the room.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different challenges that you face. Rex, you know about this.
Absolutely.
I believe you were one of the first relationship and sex therapists, black men
Yeah.
in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
So we're all doing different things, breaking barriers into atmospheres that don't necessarily include us or are used to us. What are some of the things that you faced and struggled with when it comes to, Western influence?
One and foremost, when I wake up in the morning, I'm not this pioneer that broke through on the internet. I'm just little old Deion King from Beaver, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I look in the mirror, I'm just a normal dude. So when I go out in public and people are taking photos and they want videos with me, it's so surreal.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's surreal.
Yeah.
But the dark side of the industry is, yeah, there is a lot of racism that is there.
I can only imagine.
You know, there's so much racism that is there. A lot of people don't want you there. I've been called a monkey. I've been called the N word. It's so much racism. So it makes it so younger black people don't want to get into it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
They may have seen their grandfather or their great grandfather dressing like this.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're like, we don't want to touch that. Like, it's terrible. Because it gives it a really bad stigma. And for me, it's been a ball of emotions. It's been very, very happy. I have my highs and I have my lows with it. But for the most part, as someone that's going through first,
Yeah.
uh, as a leader going through it, I must say is you when you step in a room, all eyes are on you.
Absolutely.
You know, and there's some that are like, good for you. Like, I'm happy that you're doing this. And then there are other people that's like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
why are you doing this? Why are you dressing this way? We don't want you here. So I believe like the struggles that I face is just like any average African American would face when it
Yeah.
comes down to the justice system or
Yeah.
come down to work employment. Um, you're not picked because of the color of your skin at
Mm.
times.
Mm.
And I don't ever use the race card.
Yeah.
But my philosophy to it is I don't like the term pick yourself up by your own bootstraps.
Yeah.
I don't like that term.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my philosophy is you know what? I'm gonna let my work speak for me.
I
Absolutely.
like that.
I'm gonna let my work. If you don't want to let me in, that's fine.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's absolutely okay. You don't have to let me in,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna make enough noise
Yeah.
until you can't ignore me.
You can't deny me.
Yeah.
You can't deny me. And it's the same thing with my portfolio. I'm gonna make so much noise, and I'm gonna put so much stuff in this portfolio. When I do decide to become an actor, you can't be like, oh well, yeah, we got to turn this
Yeah.
guy away.
Yeah.
Proving yourself.
I got too much. I got too much underneath me,
Yeah.
and it's just not influencing. I have my own brand. I have my own logos. It's just not that.
Yeah.
I'm very ambitious, and I think that's something that a lot of brands would see. And if that's anything that I can give to another influencer or any other young black male or female that wants to get into this, be you, be authentically you. They're gonna love you.
Absolutely.
And that's my aim, is to inspire and to get people into it. And that's why I'm going first, so I can face all of these challenges and break these barriers, so I can make it easier for everyone else.
That's good.
So
That's amazing.
Man, I'm reminded of a circumstance I dealt with my entire life. I went through a little bit of an identity crisis when I was younger because as a kid, growing up in very diverse neighborhoods, not most people didn't look like me. One of the few black kids in my classroom, and I was always hit with these comments calling me an Oreo
Mm,
because I talk very proper, right?
right.
The way I pronounce my words and stuff. People would call me white. People would say all these different things about me that made me want to go away from who God had ordained me to be.
Exactly.
And it's funny because now I'm a speaker.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
motivational speaker who speaks exactly the way he spoke when he was little.
Yeah.
That very voice that I tried to shame myself away from because of how people would make fun of me is now my very purpose behind living.
100%.
And so when I listen to you, I think of like a couple of things that people that are going through that breaking barrier existence, right?
Yeah.
When you're the only face in the room that looks like you, there's a few things you need to think about. First thing is the things people laugh at you for now, they will love you for later.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Or pay you for it later.
They'll pay you for later. I love that. All these things that people are saying you aren't worthy of, the things that you aren't prepared of because of your skin tone, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you move. It's going to be the very thing that breaks the barrier to change your life.
Yeah.
Second thing I say is, if you're the first person in that space or one of the first people in that space, remember that you are setting the tone for the people to come after you.
100%.
So don't ruin it for them.
Yes.
When you get into those rooms, you hold yourself to a certain standard to where the next person that comes, they have the opportunity to walk in that door themselves.
100%.
And the third thing I want to tell people is that when you're doing your work, and it kind of feeds off of what you were saying, when you're doing your work, you go above and beyond the expectation.
Yeah.
Set a tone to where, like you said, they cannot deny you in the future.
Yeah.
And that is the job of every single person, whether you're a person of color, whether you are a woman breaking into a field, whether you are a nerd going into a field that you usually aren't represented. Doesn't matter what it is about you that makes you different. You carry that like a badge of honor and not like a shield of shame.
That's amazing.
And you walk with that.
Man, let me add number 4.
Come on.
When you follow steps 1, 2, and 3, you also do what Brother Deion said. You put yourself in a position to create your own doors. So the people coming behind you, they don't have to face the same things you faced because you've created your own tables. You've created your own segues. You've created your own jobs or your own whatever platforms
Yeah.
that you can bring people up on so they could bypass everything that you had to deal with. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
real.
So, yeah, that's what I wanted to
You
add.
spoke about that, about how you bring people with you.
I'm bringing people up.
Yeah.
Every time there's an influencer that's like, hey, I want to be in this. I want to do Western fashion. I'm gonna bring you up. I don't
Yeah.
care if you got 700 followers. You can have 7 followers for all
Yeah.
I care. You're saying you want to be a part of this?
Mm.
That's how much pride and
Yeah.
love I have for Western culture.
Mm.
You don't got to be famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't got to dress up to hang out with me or anything like that. I want you to be a part of this because I know there's so much love that is
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
For as much hate as I receive more love.
That's good.
Come on.
That's
I
amazing.
receive more love.
That's amazing.
And a lot of people, believe it or not, You know, as deceiving as it may seem, you know, a lot of people are like, man, you wear that cowboy hat real good. I'm like, yeah, I do, right?
Yeah.
But I took the time. Like this took time for me to grow into this hat.
Yeah.
I knew I was destined for it.
Mm.
It took time for
That's
me
some
to grow into it.
symbolism right there.
And when I got there, you know, when I first tried the hat on, and this is life.
Mm.
When I first tried it on, right, it didn't fit as good.
Yeah.
It didn't fit right. And I looked really weird. I was like, man, this isn't good. Gave it some more time, a few more years. Tried that hat on again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, we're starting to get there.
Yeah.
We're starting to get there. As I'm growing older,
Yeah.
I'm wisening. And this is literally life. I'm wisening as I'm growing older. One day I put that hat on. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna take this bad boy off.
Mm.
Because I grew to this point where, you know what, I don't mind what people think about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is me, this is where I want to be, this is what I'm gonna do.
That's good.
And I got to this point in life where, you know what, that hat didn't fit so good back then, but it sure do fit good now.
Yeah.
I love
It
that.
sure do fit good now.
Man.
And I mean, like a lot of people ask me, like, you know, I really want to be in Western fashion, but I just feel like I don't belong.
Mm.
That was me.
Mm-hmm.
That was me. I had this, man, I grew up watching Walker, Texas Ranger.
Mhm.
I had this idea, like I wanted to be in Western fashion. I just didn't belong in it. I didn't find my footing. I couldn't find my place in it. I tried the hat on. It didn't fit. It didn't look good. Gave it some time.
Yeah.
I grew into it.
That's life.
So pace yourself. This is not a race. It's just not a sprint. It's literally a marathon. Pace yourself. I tell influencers this all the time. Pace yourself. Take your time. Love what you're doing. If you take it serious enough and you're more genuine about what you're doing, then everything's gonna fall into place. God is good like that.
That man, he's amazing. And it sounds like you're saying you have to just become that person.
You have to. You have to just grow into it.
That's
Just
good.
grow into it. Have you guys ever listen? So I'm actually happy because you said something to me that was really interesting.
What's
It's
up?
like, you know, I used to speak like this when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it kind of reminded me of the Bible scripture. You know, like when I was a child, I spoke like a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
Listen, listen. I know my Bible really
I get
well.
you.
You know, but as we grow older, we put those foolish games away.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You, as a young man, you said, I spoke like this, and you had this feeling like you was destined for more.
Yep.
That was me.
That's good.
That's real.
I felt like I was so destined for so much more, and I was like, God, when is it gonna happen?
Mm.
When is it gonna happen?
Talk about it, Rex.
It's not.
It's not about
not
when,
about when.
or not about if.
It's gonna happen.
It's about when.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it's gonna happen in God's time, not my time.
God put this quote on my heart
I knew you had
last
one.
year.
I
You hear
knew you had one.
me? As pastoring. He put this quote on my heart that said, I put something in you that the world needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to continue to make sure I intervene and make sure nothing stops that blessing until it's fully developed.
Yeah.
Because when I put you out there, you're going to be able to bless the world. Right. In 2020, when I made a decision to leave Chattanooga, Tennessee, and leave Knoxville and drive 14 hours to Houston with no family, no friends, no nothing, $1,200 to my name.
Yeah.
God showed me in a vision that I was going to be talking on stages. He showed me that I was going to be speaking to the masses. He showed me that I was going to be blessing others and bringing others closer to him. And, I had the faith in it, but I didn't believe it at that moment.
Yeah.
Because of where I was, and nobody did that before. Nobody in my immediate family went and got their masters.
Yeah.
Nobody had to face this adversity and just try to do it by themselves, because everybody's been around my mom or around my dad, and we've always had access to the house or access to my granny. But when you're 14 hours away from everything you know and love, you have to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
So that isolation, man, built something in me, and it helped me become the person I am today. So when me and Myles started the podcast in 2021, yeah, it was cool. Yes, we had a message, but God said, I continue to become,
Exactly.
continue to learn, continue to go through adversity, continue to figure out life. So when we hop on this podcast now, lights, camera, action, whole different type of setup. it's a different ball game. And now our messages, although we started from scratch on our page, from 0 followers to hundreds of followers in just a month, simply because of our message and what we have to share.
Brother, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna move on to our
Yeah.
Let's Talk letter, because we can stay here all
I'm
day.
telling you.
But I'm gonna finish this with this message. When you are walking in your alignment with what God has for you,
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
will move mountains.
Mountains, you hear me?
Mhm.
As long as you think it's gonna take, if you do what God is telling you to do and you're obedient, it'll take half the time.
Yeah.
It'll take half the money.
Yeah.
It'll take half the people to reach out to.
Mhm.
Not to say that hard work isn't gonna be necessary, but I believe God works in almost an exponential growth.
He does.
When you first start off, it's very linear. Very linear. 1 for 1, 2 for 2. But what starts to happen is it starts to become 3 for 4, then 4 for 7,
Yeah.
8 for 10.
Yeah.
Like it starts to take off. And it's the same thing with social media growth. It's the same thing with opportunities. All you got to do is listen and trust in God, and the blessings flow exponentially, not linearly.
That's
What
good.
you give God, He will multiply.
Yes, sir.
What you pour into Him, He will pour out to you tenfold.
Preach.
The Bible says, there shall not be room enough to receive it. That if you pour into God,
Yeah.
He will overflow your storehouse, that you won't even have enough room to receive the blessings that He
He
has for you,
said,
man.
test me and
And
see.
so I want everybody listening to think about that. Just make sure you're pouring into God. Make sure you're in alignment with what God says you need to be doing, where you need to be. And if you do that, I promise you, it may seem slow right now,
Yeah.
but there's about to be a shift in your life.
Absolutely.
So we're going to move forward, guys, into our Let's Talk letter. All right.
Okay.
It's crazy because the content that we put up yesterday actually directly aligns with the letter we got today.
Okay.
All right. So this individual, 25-year-old male,
Okay.
has been in a relationship for 7 years now. He's dated this girl. I guess that would have been end of high school. Sounds like. Been with this lady for a while. He said that they've, gone through a lot of different circumstances,
Right.
battled through a lot. He thought she was the one. He's been trying to ask God, because of the arguments and the issues that they've been facing,
Mhm.
like, is she the one? And the answer he's getting is no.
Mm.
And he doesn't want to hear it, right? He's trying to hypothesize and, be practical about a way out of it to make it a yes. What do people do when God says no?
Want to take the lead on this one, or you want me
Now,
to?
Brother Deion, go ahead.
You know what? I'm a victim of this.
Mm.
You know, I've been on both receiving and also, the end where I'm dishing it out. We want something to work so badly.
Yep.
We're so anxious for it. We're like, we want this to work. We want this to work. And this is me speaking for my last relationship. She's like, no. God is saying no. It's time to move on.
Yep.
I believe that you would do more damage to yourself
Yep.
and to her.
Yep.
Emotionally, I feel like is going to be emotionally taxing.
Yep.
But you have to be okay. There has to be something that comes over you that say, you know what, I'm okay.
Yep.
With letting this go. I'm okay with moving forward. Knowing, I just want the best for you. If you want someone to be really happy,
Yeah.
let them go.
Yep.
Let them grow. Let them go. You want to see them flourish? Let them go. Because at a certain point in time, like I remember, you know what? I just want to be with this person. I want to love this person. I want them to be in love with me.
Right.
But it's not in God's plan.
Yeah.
Literally, it's not in God's
Yeah.
plan. So things are going to fall apart around you.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to fall apart until you finally let that go. And then God is going to give you everything back.
Exactly.
Plus more.
That's perfect.
That's good. Man, a couple things came to mind. One, this person is either going to be a blessing or a lesson, right? Number two, the more you delay what's for you, right, the longer you will sit and suffer, right? And not only that, it's if you are the spiritual head and you are expecting her to follow you, to submit to you, because she feels like you are being led by God, but you're not even listening when God is giving you the message.
Yeah.
Right? How effective of a leader are you? right? So if God is telling you no now, it's been 7 years, there's been discomfort, there's been, kind of going back and forth. God doesn't operate like that.
Yeah.
Yes, in a relationship, in a marriage, you're going to find discomfort. Yes, you're taking two people, combining to be one, and there's going to be conflict. But God's going to give you the roadmap to navigate through that. But it's 7 years of conflict, 7 years of dysfunction, 7 years. It seems to me like that brother's just comfortable.
Mm.
There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of attachment. He doesn't want to start over. Maybe he doesn't know who he is. And maybe his identity is attached to that relationship.
Yeah.
And starting over means that he has to find himself again. And that is scary for a lot of people.
Yes.
So if you hear God saying no, no matter what it takes, you have to lean into that. And then you have to also tell yourself, regardless of whatever decision I make, I'm going to be okay.
7 years of trauma.
Yeah.
7 years of trauma bonding. It's a lot to let go.
Absolutely.
It's a lot to let go. So he gotta put himself back out there and he gotta find himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's it.
I think that's exactly what I would say too. You guys kind of hit on everything that I was going to come with, which is honestly, at the end of the day, the longer you delay what God has for you, the more you suffer. The longer you're going to stay stagnant, the longer you're going to stay feeling like life just isn't moving the way you think it should. Well, it's not moving that way because it isn't moving the way it should. You're not being obedient. You're not listening, and you're not putting God first. And so when you go to God, this is something people have to really prepare themselves for. A lot of people say they want a man that can lead. A lot of women say they want a man that can lead.
Yep.
A lot of men say that they want to be leaders.
Yep.
And a lot of men say that they want God to lead their life.
Yep.
But in all three of these circumstances, there are very few of those people who are prepared for the no.
Yeah.
When the no comes, they try to rationalize themselves out of every single piece of it.
Yep.
But if I do this, maybe if I change this aspect, it's a yes.
Yep.
Maybe God's just saying no because of this particular. No, he said no.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
It wasn't an ellipses after that. It wasn't a question mark.
Yeah, period.
It was no period. Maybe even a no exclamation point.
Yeah.
But the thing about humans, the thing about men, we have ego. We have flesh. And that flesh is always at war with the spirit.
Yeah.
And until you choose to say, hey, my fleshly, my ungodly self is trying to ruin what God is telling me I need to do.
Yeah.
And I need to put this version of me to the side and just trust and accept, then you're going to continue to fall to the pressures of sin.
Yeah. And let me say this, because God just put this in my heart. If you don't want to listen, he's going to make you listen. And when he makes you listen, that's when it hurts the most.
Rex.
You feel me? It's been 7 years. He's been asking. God has been saying certain things. There's been conflict. Yeah, there's kind of been discomfort. I'm sure they have good days as well.
Yeah.
But he's asking God, and God is saying no. He doesn't want to listen. But when God makes him listen, that's when a baby comes up. Right? That's when something comes up in a situation where you can't leave. And if you try to leave, there's something else that's attached to it. So you can't fully leave.
Right.
Or even worse, I mean, like in some of my buddies' cases, I mean, like, you know it's time to leave. You know it's time to go. Your friends are telling you to go.
Yeah.
God is telling you to go. Your mom, everybody's telling you, hey, it's time to let it go. And they stick around for a little bit too long.
Yep.
They find themselves in trouble.
Yeah. Big trouble.
Big trouble.
Yeah.
And you don't want to sit up here. Be mindful of who you get into a relationship with.
Yeah.
Because the person that you decide that you want to date is going to have a lot of power and sway over how happy you're going to be, but also how your future turns out.
Yep.
You cannot see your future with this woman, or you can't see your future with a man. It's time to let them go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, there was this saying or this quote I found a while back ago, and it was going over be mindful of the women that you choose to date or the women that you fall in love with, because it was like whoever you fall in love with, they have so much power and sway over how you react, how you feel emotionally.
Yep.
And it can affect you so badly. So you just need to be super careful with your heart. Protect yourself.
That's
a lot of people just don't. we're into this thing where we don't want to let go. Nah, protect yourself.
Yeah,
Because at this point, now you just got your guard down.
Exactly.
You're just waiting to be hurt.
exactly.
Exactly.
That's powerful,
That's good.
man. Man, so let's move on to our closing.
Yep.
All right. So this has been our longest episode.
Absolutely.
We have
Yeah.
not gone this long. Like, this is powerful,
Yeah.
man. You brought a lot of value today, and I really appreciate you, brother. What I want us to do next, I want you to go ahead and tell us what you got planned for your future really quick. Let's give a quick synopsis of what Deion King and his brand has going forward, where people can find you, and then we're going to close out.
Yep.
First off, man, I should have started off like this, man. I came here bearing you fellas some gifts.
Oh, really?
Now, you fellas, this is from the Mad Hatter's Hat Company,
Oh,
man. Now, you fellas, I
wow.
don't know which one of you boys,
Man,
but
you can just toss it over whichever
yeah,
one.
man, which one you want? You like, give me that one.
I
All
was
right.
trying to see if
Hey,
Rex is going to reach.
That's my favorite one
I
right there,
appreciate you,
guys. So I
brother.
think that one's
This
real
is
nice.
tough.
That's real tough. But I also came here bearing
I feel like I just signed to a team.
Damn, for real.
little like Tiger Woods.
I'm telling you.
But I also came in here bearing another gift for you guys,
Oh,
man. So
man.
y'all know who we with.
Oh,
Y'all know
Lord,
exactly
I know I
who we
see
with. Yes,
what
sir.
I saw.
Yes, sir. You know Blue 5, we here.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
so let me go and put that back in the bag. Y'all
Yeah,
can't
you
have
keep,
Hey.
no, you keep that one.
you know, I see what you got on you, Rex.
Yeah, it's all love, man.
Came out here bearing that one as well for you
Oh,
guys.
my God. Man, we
Uh,
actually have something for you as well. So, being that you are into Western fashion, I thought we should get you something.
Oh man.
Kona belt buckle. We got the D on there for Deion.
Yeah.
I wanted them to have a K for King, but man, I know whether you wear this or whether you don't, you put it on your mantle. We
Yeah.
want to just say we appreciate you coming on. Like, this is from the
Appreciate
brothers
that,
at
brother.
Let's Talk Like Men,
Yes, sir.
and we appreciate your service. Make sure you show
Thank
people.
you, brother. Thank you, brother. I appreciate
It's
that. Look
much
at that,
love,
man.
man.
Look at that there.
Yes,
I love
sir.
that. Appreciate you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
We'll definitely hang this up on the wall. We relatives that we wear, man. We typically earn them somehow,
Yeah.
some way.
That's
Okay.
fair.
So we earn them, but the buckles that I get, man, I typically hang them up on the wall.
That's
That's beautiful.
So I go by and I look at them, man. So it keeps me in good spirits.
Gotcha. So what's next for you? Tell us real quick.
Next for me, man, is getting this brand off the ground, man, big time.
Mm.
King and Lasso has been a piece of work. It's been a work of art, but it also represents myself, the Western culture. So if you guys see a K with a lasso around it, um, it just stands for freedom,
Okay.
you know, equality, bringing diversity and inclusion into Western.
That's good.
And
I love that.
I definitely want to bring a lot of inclusion into Western where we talked about this a little bit last
Mhm.
night, but he was like, yeah, you know, what do you want to do when you know you get out there when you kind of finally blow up? And I just want to be an actor.
Yeah, that's
That's
beautiful.
all. Hey man, I just want to be an actor. You know, I always had a little dream of being like Walker Texas Ranger,
Yeah.
so a little Chuck Norris or something like that.
Mhm.
I just want to be in that, you know. And I'm definitely building my portfolio. I have quite a few plans, rodeos all out here, and it's been crazy. It's been
Yeah.
hectic. My schedule fills up pretty fast. Like I'm always want to go, but you know what they say, God has blessed me with that.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
And I'm very fortunate that I have such a platform where people constantly want to tune in and see what I'm doing and see
Yeah.
what my everyday life is like.
That's good.
So I have so much planned and can't give you guys all the tea.
Yeah,
But
Okay,
we
I got you.
understand.
I can't give it all to you,
Okay.
Some
but
stuff you got to keep covert.
you know, but definitely look out, be looking out for the brand. I'm gonna send you guys some shirts.
Most definitely.
Awesome.
But King and Lasso is definitely been like my biggest project right now, which is
Okay.
getting my own brand out there to everyone. So it should be awesome, man.
That's
That's a
good.
blessing, brother.
I
That's
can't
good.
wait to see what this platform becomes.
That
for
was,
you guys,
man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
that.
When you guys are like in 1,000,000 followers, man, I want y'all
Hey.
to invite me back up here, right?
We definitely will.
Absolutely.
It's like
Definitely
Club Shay Shay, but I'm gonna come in with a lot of dirt.
There we go.
Yes,
There we
Come
go.
with the dirt.
Cat Williams.
Yes.
All right, Rex. Let's go ahead. Sponsors.
Yes, sir. So first, a shout out to OM28 Studios. If you have a podcast, thinking about starting a podcast, have your own podcast, but just don't have the perfect platform or setup for it, man, come check them out here. And last thing I would say is, if you are a brother that's going through anything mentally, emotionally, you're going through relationship struggles, or just having suicidal thoughts or thoughts of harming yourself, um, go to resolvecc.com and book a session with me. I am a marriage and family therapist, and I focus on men that are dealing with every single thing that we discussed on this platform. So resolvecc.com, come check me out, and then follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk Like Men Podcast on all platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then if you want to be a guest on the show, send us a request
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll check you out.
All right. For me, guys, you guys already know the hats I always wear, NU King merch. Definitely check them out on Instagram. I always feel royal when I wear it, so make sure you guys are looking out for that. My best-selling book, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life: A Young Adult Guide to Fulfillment. Guys, if you are going through things, whether it's the men or the ladies listening to this, you're dealing with stuff as a young adult. You're trying to figure out where you're going with your life, how to deal with all these different aspects. The book gives you the playbook. It gives you the mindset to all of it. So you can find that on Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.milesthemillennial.com, and I'll definitely make sure you get a copy. Finally, if you're looking for a motivational speaker, you can go onto my platform or send me a message. I do speak to young adult groups, high schools, colleges, organizations. If you need somebody to come in and impact the minds of the students and youth that you have, I got you. I can definitely take care of
That's
that and
good.
make sure that they walk out with a mindset that's going to allow them to be successful and more productive. Other than that, guys, man,
It's been
I
a great talk.
appreciate this. This was awesome.
It's been great,
Dion,
man.
we appreciate you so much,
It's
man.
definitely been a blast, man.
For sure.
I can't wait, bro.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't ask what my age was.
Oh, yeah. Let's give the people this. How old are you, man?
Boy, they gonna flip out when they hear this one, buddy.
'Cause we don't know if you're 35, 25. What is
How
it?
old you think, Rex?
Man, to be honest, I'm thinking, I told him earlier, late 20s, but now that you're talking, probably 41.
41?
Man, I think 27.
It's either short end or the high end. There's no between.
Hey, man, I turned 28 in March, man.
I
Oh,
know.
I'm spot on. I'm spot on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
turned 28
that's
in
good.
March, man. So
Okay.
I've been through life, man. It's military, man. I've just matured me a lot.
Yeah.
But I think life lessons just matured me a lot,
Absolutely.
and I'm able to kind of just influence those around me. You know, I don't like the word influence, but let me rephrase that. I'm able to inspire those around me,
Absolutely.
and it gives me opportunities to sit like here on platforms with you guys and meet people like you guys. You guys are great gentlemen. And it puts me in rooms that I never in my life as a little kid thought I would be in.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I'm extremely blessed. God has been good to me. And I mean, like, I'm honored to be here with you guys,
Yes,
man.
sir. We're
That's
honored to
love,
have you,
brother.
bro.
Honored to be here.
Thank you again, man.
Yes, sir.
Dion
Yes,
King,
sir.
guys. Make sure you
Yes,
guys
sir.
reach out to him, follow him on all his platforms.
All right. So I'm gonna
Make
get
sure
you
y'all
some
follow
cigarettes.
Let's Talk Like Men podcast. And this has been an amazing episode. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all next week.
See y'all tuning out.